This video for BMW M3 Competition review. Good stuff. Remarkable chassis and steering, engine response, traction and precision, all-round usability, 4WD option. Bad stuff. Price and weight have risen, neither bothers you once you've driven it, automatic gearbox isn't the right fit. Overview. What is IT? It's the BMW M3, as if you couldn't tell. Still a twin-turbo straight-six under the bonnet, still rear-wheel drive, still a simple 4-door body shell. That much is carried over from its predecessor. Then we get into what's new. An 8-speed automatic controversially replaces the 7-speed twin clutch. Currently a 6-speed manual only comes with the non-competition M3, which isn't available in the UK. In the previous M3's final year on sale, less than 1% of buyers went manual. You've only got yourselves to blame. Instead, the only choice is the high-spec M3 Competition, which only partially accounts for the steep price increase to £81,195. That's the entry model. As of July 2021, you could order it with 4-wheel drive, £84,070, and in mid-2023 BMW added a marginally lighter, sharper, punchier CS version, £115,900. You can now, at last, have an £86,570 free touring estate variant. All things to all people, that one. How long has the M3 been around? This is the 6th generation M3, continuing a lineage that dates back to 1986. It started as a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, and apart from one foray into V8 power, it's used a straight 6 ever since. Once again, it launched at the same time as the 2-door BMW M4 Competition, internally designated the G82, while this is the G80, and once again, hopes are high that this most iconic of sports saloons has got what it takes to reignite the class. The Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio is starting to age, the current Audi 4 Rupees has never been great, and the next C63 appears to be on hiatus. It's been launched as a 4-cylinder plug-in hybrid, but rumors abound that Merc is frantically backtracking after a very lukewarm initial reception. BMW's done nothing so controversial or likely to alienate owners of older cars. Tell me about the engine. The straight 6 has come in for a massive amount of work. On paper it looks like the 2,993cc unit has been largely carried over, and yes, the S58 is a development of the old B58, but check this out. The crank is taken directly from the M4 GT3 race car, the turbos are new, larger monoscroll blowers, and the cylinder head is 3D printed, enabling it to cope with injection pressures of 350 bars. The result is an extra 60 bhp and 74 pound-feet of torque, taking the standard M3 beyond 500 bhp for the first time, a feat it shares with its most direct rival, the Alfa Romeo Giulia, while developing a colossal 479 pound-feet from 2,750 to 5,500 revolutions per minute. And if you opt for the harder-edged CS version, you get 542 bhp courtesy of higher turbo boost pressure. That's the same engine as sported by the M4 CSL, only the CS Saloon does without the lightweight componentry. Not that that actually made much difference to the CSL. Skip 12 photos in the image carousel and continue reading. But the regular M3 is now 1,730 kilograms, over 150 kilograms more than its F80 predecessor, giving it only a slight power-to-weight advantage and a claimed 0 to 62 miles per hour time only 0.1 seconds faster. Higher spec is to blame apparently, the firm claiming like-for-like weight is only up about 60 kilograms. The 4WD version weighs another 55 kilograms, the 4WD only CS seems perverse, but it's the right choice, is 20 kilograms lighter than that at 1,765 kilograms. What about equipment levels? The new M3 is certainly well equipped. In addition to the usual suite of driver safety aids, there's also M-Drive Professional, which includes a lap timer, driving analysis coach, data recorder, and, we kid you not, an M-Drift analyzer to rate your skids. It's a tough marker. A huge drift through Quarry Corner at Castle Combe 160 yards at 24 degrees of oversteer, according to the car, was rated 4 stars. Find that behavior needlessly childish? For extra security you can have a 4WD M3 for the first time ever. The standard car has ridiculous grip and traction, so you'll be buying this chiefly for wintry peace of mind. LED lights are standard. There's a 12.3-inch dash display and another 10.25-inch center screen for the infotainment, 3-zone climate control, 16-speaker Harman Kardon hi-fi, gesture control, all before you get to the option packs, such as £7,995 million Pro, which brings carbon ceramic brakes and a raising of the speed limiter from 155 to 180 miles per hour. Bet there's some carbon fiber, too? There's a lot of carbon included, from the roof, incorporating twin ridges, to the steering wheel, console and gearshift paddles. Ah yes, the gearbox. It's a ZF with claimed 150 millisecond shift times. If you want to save weight with more carbon, the brakes are 15 kilograms lighter all round despite being bigger, a vast 400 mm diameter front discs, against a still massive 380 mm, and there are optional front carbon seats saving a total of 9.6 kilograms. The wheels are 19s at the front, 20s at the back, clad in Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, 275s at the front, 285s out back. Underneath the body has been comprehensively strengthened over the standard 3 Series with extra bracing and new shear panels to help transmit loads. The engine sits noticeably further back in the chassis, although the F80's attractive carbon brace has been replaced with some cheap-looking steel components. Read more. Watch BMW M3 Touring Review, 2023's most wanted new car. Not great when you consider the 81,195 pounds BMW is now charging for the M3. The M4 is 1,300 pounds more expensive. For that you get more metal. It's 120 mm longer and 20 mm wider than before with a lot more choice of color and trim. None of which completely hides the grille. Which, if we're being honest, is less of an issue in real life. Especially when you don't have to look at it. But nor are we convinced the new car has the same stance and attitude as its predecessor. The Touring does a good job of balancing out the visuals. Or you embrace the aggression with the CS. That, with exposed carbon and extra stripes, makes a strong statement. How does it drive? It's not friendly exactly, but definitely friendlier than the old F80. That was a spiky machine, with hard-hitting turbos and a fractious back axle. This has settled for ruthless precision. You know exactly what both ends are up to, so you can slice through roundabouts with pinpoint accuracy, and no risk of curved wheels. It's settled, determined and engaging, and opting for 4WD does nothing to disturb that, but brings useful added peace of mind if it's wet or cold. Also speed. We timed the 4WD car to 60 miles per hour in 3.2s, against a claim of 3.5s, making it immensely fast as well as rewarding. The Giulia remains the more magnanimous super saloon, but the M3 is now the crisper to drive. What's the verdict? This one's a belter. No other sports or super saloon is as capable, grippy, tied down, responsive or communicative. This one's a belter. No other sports or super saloon is as capable, grippy, tied down, responsive or communicative on a difficult road. Yes, it's heavier than before. No, it's not an issue. At all. In its ability to deliver speed and composure it's a huge step on from before and has perhaps the best chassis of any contemporary M3 since the E46 20 years ago. If there's a downside it's that the engine now plays second fiddle to the chassis. In the past engines have been at the core of the M3's appeal, but this latest one, although fearsomely potent, is less exciting to actually use. Not least because it delivers torque with such ruthless efficiency you always need to have one eye on the speedo. The main part of the blame can probably be laid at the doors of the perfectly competent but otherwise unremarkable automatic gearbox. It would only have limited appeal, but we reckon the standard 473 bhp M3's manual gearbox would help to bring the powertrain to life. But sadly that's not coming to the UK. Us? We'd pay the extra for an X-Drive and treat this heavier new M3 as a compact M5. That's the sort of car it is. And obviously we'd have the touring estate body, because there are no real drawbacks and it's more useful, so easier to sell into the family. And no, now we've driven it, the nostrils, ungainly through they still are, wouldn't put us off for a minute. Thank you for your watching.